parent of 2 children in public schools and having been a lifelong advocate for public education, it is very important to me that there are good public schools in Chatham County and in Pittsboro. But it is also very important to any person who is building a community to have good schools. Schools actually bring good business, that, you know, companies are drawn to places with good schools. North Carolina is having a very difficult time being at low teacher pay because our teachers are leaving. We have other issues when it comes to schools. But the big concern for the schools, I agree that Chatham Park has not given a plan as of yet. I know there are areas where they're thinking. The big problem is going to be how do we pay for it. Chatham County is actually the major responsible party here, but that is still going to affect all of us because our tax rates are indeed a part of this. And there have been a lot of discussions with Chatham Park about whether or not they give the land. Is that the cheapest way? Well, then we still have to invest as a county in building the schools. That's another outlay. And so then do you do it through bonds, or then do you do it through, or do you get Chatham Park to build it, build schools under the way that the county would like it, and then lease to own? There are a lot of different things, and the reason why I would guess why nothing has been decided is because no small area plans have been developed, and the negotiations between the county and Chatham Park are still ongoing. I do know that schools are important because they're in every single mapping that I've seen, potential areas for it. I know there's negotiation as to where, and I also leave that up to Chatham County elected officials whose responsibility it is to handle education, the Board of Education and the county itself. I would advocate for good public schools, and that they be put in places where, once again, back to affordable housing, making sure that good schools are available to everybody, no matter what their standard of income is, and ensuring, but everybody wants education, and nobody's going to want to come and buy a giant swap. No developers going to want to come in without an answer to education. So in that sense, I feel very hopeful that we will have the exact how do we pay for it question at the county level answered, but simultaneously, that's my biggest concern, is how do we do it so that we are not, as the growth comes in, we're not putting out the people who live here are not putting out the initial outset of the money before the people get here. And we're also not behind the 8 ball with education. We don't want to have overcrowding schools before we build them either. So we've got to find that balance between the two.